A brilliant mind shines brightly above everyone else, not just in his classroom but throughout the whole school. His world revolves around textbooks and problem solving. He doesn't know the word hobby unless it's found in a dictionary he is memorizing. While others chat and play during breaks, Si-eun prefers the company of his headphones and books, lost in a world of knowledge. During a ceremony, Si-eun's hard work pays off as he secures the first prize in a math contest, standing shoulder to shoulder with Yongbin, another awardee whose victory raises eyebrows. How did Yongbin, of all people, manage to clinch an award? The puzzle begins to unfold at break time when Yongbin's true colors show. He's the school's tormentor, taking joy in belittling others, even going so far as to toss a shoe at Si-eun in a so-called accident. But Si-eun, though quiet, isn't one to let injustice slide. The drama escalates when a group of baseball players storm in, targeting Su-ho for his audacity in flirting with their leader's girlfriend. Su-ho, who could easily be mistaken for a professional fighter, handles the situation with unexpected finesse, leaving the bullies scampering away in defeat. Amidst the chaos, Si-eun's belongings are scattered, and Su-ho, in a gesture of apology, helps gather them up, marking the beginning of an unlikely camaraderie. The next challenge arises when Si-eun's gym uniform mysteriously disappears, with all fingers pointing to Yongbin. Yet, in the field of conflict and gym class races, Si-eun finds an unexpected ally in Su-ho, who confronts the bullies with a fearless stance. The tension doesn't end there. Si-eun faces off with the bullies in the locker room, a confrontation halted only by the timely arrival of a teacher. In a twist of fate, Yongbin and Si-eun become momentarily allies, a facade to avoid trouble. The plot thickens when Su-ho, mistaking Si-eun's address, delivers pizzas to his door, leading to an impromptu bonding session over a bottle of water. Meanwhile, a new character enters the scene. Oh Beom-seok, a new student, finds himself caught in the ongoing feud, with Su-ho, half asleep, playing the unexpected peacemaker. The story takes a darker turn as Yongbin and his crew dabble in dangerous dealings, hinting at a nefarious plot against Si-eun involving drugs and deceit. Yet, when Si-eun faces a direct threat, his bravery surprises even the drug dealers, earning him a grudging respect. The story resumes with Yongbin, already known for causing trouble, finding a new target in Oh Beom-seok, the new kid. Yongbin has a secret weapon, knowledge of Beom's past troubles at his previous school. He promises to keep this secret if Beom assists him with a risky scheme. Their plan takes a dark turn during a test, when Beom applies a drug to Si-eun's skin, causing an immediate and severe reaction. Battling dizziness and sickness, Si-eun desperately struggles to regain control, an effort that leads him to confront the physical effects alone in a bathroom. However, the real battle begins when Si-eun discovers the cause of his ailment, and the test results reveal a significant drop in his usual performance. Enraged, Si-eun reacts swiftly and violently, using a pen as a weapon against Yongbin and his accomplice. The classroom becomes a scene of chaos, with Si-eun at the center, unstoppable in his fury, until Su-ho intervenes. Despite Su-ho's efforts, the confrontation escalates until a teacher's arrival temporarily halts the violence. The aftermath sees Yongbin hospitalized, and Si-eun faces the consequences of his action. Armed with evidence of Yongbin's wrongdoing, Si-eun finds himself in an unexpected position of power. Confronting Yongbin's mother in the hospital, Si-eun presents his case, not as a plea for mercy but as a statement of fact, using the discovery of drugs in Yongbin's backpack to turn the tables. This revelation spares Si-eun from immediate legal repercussions and sets the stage for further confrontation. Back at school, the tension remains high. Yongbin's friends seek revenge, but Si-eun decides to confront the challenge directly. Using a pen and psychological tactics inspired by Pavlov's experiments, Si-eun overcomes his would-be attackers, showcasing a mastery over fear and control. As Si-eun navigates the aftermath, the school buzzes with rumors and questions about his action. Amidst the turmoil, an offer of friendship from Su-ho suggests a meal together, a simple gesture that hints at the possibility of normalcy in a world upheaved by conflicts and challenges. One morning, Si-eun arrives early to find Su-ho already there, catching up on sleep. They later share a meal in the cafeteria, where Su-ho reveals his strategy for making it to class on time, sleeping at school to avoid oversleeping at home. Meanwhile, in a darker corner of the city, Suk-dae is seen coercing a young gambler into acknowledging a debt incurred from online betting, marking the start of a day filled with confrontational intentions. As the school day concludes, Si-eun finds himself face-to-face with Suk-dae and his crew, including Yongbin, outside the school. The encounter quickly becomes hostile, with Suk-dae clarifying that his actions are strictly business. Beom-seok, having witnessed the confrontation, hurries to enlist Su-ho's help, leveraging the promise of doubled pay to secure his assistance. The scene shifts to a remote location where Si-eun assesses his chances of escaping the impending showdown. Despite being outnumbered, he employs his quick thinking to create distractions and carve out advantages for himself. However, the situation worsens when Suk-dae overpowers him, leading to a moment where Si-eun endures the full force of their collective anger. Just when the situation appears dire, Su-ho arrives, altering the battle's dynamic. A fierce exchange of blows follows, with Su-ho and Se-yeon pushing back against Suk-dae and the bullies. The timely arrival of Beom-seok turns the tide, enabling them to overpower their opponents. With the confrontation concluded, Suk-dae and his defeated crew retreat, leaving Si-eun, Su-ho, and Beom-seok in a triumphant aftermath. Yong-bin, frustrated by the unexpected defeat, can do little but observe as his plans unravel. The ordeal concludes, with Su-ho proposing a celebratory meal, leading the trio into an evening filled with victory yet uncertain futures. After a day filled with unexpected turns and newfound camaraderie, Su-ho guides Si-eun and Beom-seok to his workplace, assigning them chores as playful retribution for making him late. Their task concludes with a shared meal, marking a moment of friendship that Si-eun cherishes as a first in his life. Exhausted from the day's events, Si-eun finds himself too tired to adhere to his usual study routine. Meanwhile, Suk-dae faces the wrath of his boss, Gil-soo, who punishes him severely for failing against the boys, going as far as breaking his arm. Young Bin visits Suk-dae in the hospital, only to learn from Gil-soo that he holds Young Bin responsible for Suk-dae's injuries. In an unexpected twist, Si-eun encounters E, a member of Suk-dae's group caught shoplifting. Opting to overlook her actions, Si-eun finds himself embroiled in a ruse as E pretends to be his girlfriend to avoid trouble, then insists on sharing a meal with him, claiming she dislikes dining alone. The next day, Young Bin approaches Si-eun and his friends with a plea for help, fearing legal repercussions over the drug incident. Despite Su-ho's skepticism of Young Bin's sincerity, Si-eun and Beom-seok agree to help, only to find themselves walking into a well-orchestrated trap by Gil-soo and his gang. Gil-soo, demanding compensation for Suk-dae's injury and threatening their safety, proposes a sinister deal: pay within 3 days or face severe consequences, even suggesting they take out a loan to cover the costs. With Gil-soo's menacing presence hanging over them, Si-eun arranges a secretive meeting with Yi, seeking a way out of their predicament. Yi confirms their worst fears. Paying Gil-soo wouldn't guarantee their safety. Determined to turn the situation to their advantage, Si-eun decides it's time to outsmart Gil-soo. Yi shares crucial information with Si-eun. Gil-soo is behind a fraudulent online gambling site designed to trap users. Initially, the site lures people in with bonuses and early wins, only to later deplete their funds and entangle them in debt. Yi proposes a plan to expose Gil-soo by capturing evidence of his deceitful practices, including photographs of records and contracts he uses to ensnare his victims. As the deadline for Gil-soo's demand for payment approaches, the boys gather at school, wrestling with their next move. Beom-seok has managed to secure the demanded amount by selling a valuable watch, a gift from his father. Despite having the means to pay, the group considers a bolder strategy, involving the police to capture Gil-soo. Realizing that merely presenting the photographs as evidence might not suffice, their plan hinges on leading the authorities directly to Gil-soo's operation. Confronted by Gil-soo outside their school, Su-ho volunteers to distract him, urging his friends to prepare to alert the police. Approaching Gil-soo with a pretense of financial desperation, Su-ho pitches a deceptive business idea to lure more students into Gil-soo's gambling web, hoping to persuade Gil-soo to disclose the location of his operation. Gil-soo, intrigued by the proposal, invites Su-ho to discuss the details further at his base of operations. As Su-ho departs with Gil-soo, Yi and Si-eun realize the gravity of the situation and the risk Su-ho is taking. Concerned for their friend's safety, Si-eun seeks the location where Su-ho might be taken, armed with an address provided by Yi. In a tense turn of events, Beom-seok, driven by concern for Su-ho's safety, hails a taxi to pursue Gil-soo and his crew, intending to pay the ransom himself. Meanwhile, Yi urges Suk-dae to reconsider their path of wrongdoing, fearing that continuing on this dark trajectory will make them as monstrous as Gil-soo. Su-ho, in an attempt to gather evidence, discreetly activates his smartwatch's recorder. However, Gil-soo, ever suspicious, demands to see Su-ho's phone and resorts to violence when Su-ho hesitates. Concurrently, Oh Beom-seok arrives at Gil-soo's hideout, offering the ransom in exchange for Su-ho's freedom. Gil-soo, seizing the opportunity, not only takes the money but also captures Oh Beom-seok, ordering his men to evacuate the premises swiftly. By the time Si-eun and the police arrive, the villains have vanished, leaving behind a scene devoid of evidence except for ominous bloodstains and an emptied safe. In the aftermath, Gil-soo, unsatisfied, summons Suk-dae for a reckoning, blaming him for their failures. Despite Suk-dae's insistence on facing Gil-soo alone, Yi, determined not to let him confront danger solo, follows closely, signaling Si-eun to track them using a location-sharing app. When Suk-dae confronts Gil-soo, he is brutally beaten, yet in a moment of defiance, he intervenes to prevent Gil-soo from coercing a young debtor into committing a violent act against Su-ho and Oh Beom-seok. The confrontation escalates into a dramatic fight, with Suk-dae and Gil-soo at the center. Just as Gil-soo gains the upper hand, Yi intervenes, striking Gil-soo with a vase and momentarily gaining control with his knife. However, the situation quickly reverses, putting Yi at Gil-soo's mercy. Suddenly, Si-eun steps in, creating a diversion that allows Yi to free Su-ho and Oh Beom-seok. The villains, initially fooled by the sound of fake sirens, regroup, setting the stage for a final showdown. Amid the chaos, Yi and Suk-dae seize an opportunity to escape, only to encounter the real police, forcing them to retreat. In the ensuing melee, Su-ho and Si-eun valiantly defend themselves, but their lack of fighting experience compared to Su-ho leaves Si-eun vulnerable. In a dramatic turn, the police manage to halt the ongoing battle, but Gil-soo, determined to evade capture, uses a distraction to flee. Undeterred, Si-eun gives chase, leading to a final confrontation at the dock. Despite Gil-soo's combat skills, Si-eun and Su-ho, working together, manage to subdue him with teamwork and a decisive kick from Su-ho. Meanwhile, Suk-dae makes a noble choice, locking Yi and another boy behind a metal door, urging them to escape while he faces the consequences of his actions. This act of self-sacrifice leads to everyone involved being brought to the police station. In an unexpected turn, Oh Beom-seok is confronted with an opportunity to exact revenge on Gil-soo, prompted by his father's bodyguard. However, Oh Beom-seok shows restraint, unable to embrace violence, a decision that underscores his inner conflict and morality. The aftermath sees Su-ho recovering in the hospital, where Si-eun brings Yi, introducing her as a new friend and symbolizing the bond formed through their shared ordeal. Si-eun's act of fetching food for them further cements this newfound friendship, revealing his transition from a lone figure to someone surrounded by friends. Contrastingly, Oh Beom-seok's return home reveals a darker familial situation. Despite his father's public facade as a supporter of youth programs, he subjects Oh Beom-seok to harsh physical abuse, highlighting a disturbing dichotomy between public image and private reality. Back at school, Oh Beom-seok experiences a fleeting moment of significance among his peers, buoyed by the recent events. This sense of belonging extends into a light-hearted lunch with his friends, planning to continue their camaraderie into the evening. In the evening, Oh Beom-seok was getting ready to head out. He took a quick glance at Instagram and saw a bunch of photos of Su-ho hanging out with Yi. It felt like Su-ho was leaving him out, especially since he wasn't even following Oh Beom-seok back. When they all met up, Oh Beom-seok couldn't shake off the feeling of being left behind. It was like Su-ho and Yi were in their own world, and he was just there, invisible. At the smoothie store, things didn't get any better. Se-yeon joined them, sitting with Su-ho and Yi while Oh Beom-seok was left waiting for the drinks. Watching them, he felt like he didn't belong, like nobody cared he was there. Then, just when they were about to enjoy some karaoke, Oh Beom-seok spotted his old bullies from his previous school. Panic hit him hard and he dashed to hide in the bathroom, fearing what they might do if they found him. When he returned, he saw Yi on the phone with one of his bullies. Anger boiled inside him, leading to a heated argument. Su-ho intervened, pushing Oh Beom-seok away and telling him to calm down. Yi left in a huff, with Su-ho following her. It was Se-yoon who stayed behind, trying to understand what had set Beom-seok off. But trouble wasn't over yet. The bullies found him again, ready to cause trouble. Se-yoon stood up to them, forcing them to back off. The next day at school, Beom-seok felt like everyone was laughing at him. He confronted one of the boys, ready for a fight. Despite Se-yoon's attempts to calm him down, things came to a head during the weekend when the bullies kept calling him. Su-ho and Se-yoon paid him a visit, concerned about his well-being. Inside, Su-ho noticed a family photo and complimented it, but Beom-seok dropped a bombshell. That family wasn't his real one. His father had adopted him to boost his public image when he became a congressman. As they sat down, Se-yoon noticed Beom-seok wasn't himself. He gently prodded, and finally Beom-seok opened up about what was bothering him, the encounter with the bullies. He reveals that those individuals are the tormentors who made his life unbearable during his previous school day. They tormented him relentlessly, subjecting him to physical assault on a daily basis. Sensing Beom-seok's need for closure, Su-ho proposes reaching out to these bullies for a face-to-face confrontation, aiming to extract apologies from. True to their plan, the trio confronts the bully. Su-ho lays down the term. Either they apologize to Beom-seok or face the consequences. Despite initial reluctance from the lead bully, Su-ho asserts dominance by seizing his ear, leaving no room for negotiation. The bully reluctantly offers an apology, but Beom-seok perceives it as insincere and retaliates with a slap. In turn, the bully strikes back, prompting Su-ho to intervene by restraining him against the wall. When Beom-seok attempts a retaliatory attack with a bottle, Su-ho thwarts his efforts, further fueling his frustration. Separated from his friend, Beom-seok unloads his pent-up grievances against Su-ho, accusing him of condescension and excessive control. As tensions escalate, Se-yoon intervenes, urging Su-ho to calm down. Instead, Su-ho pushes Beom-seok against the wall, intensifying their verbal confrontation. Eventually, they part ways, with Beom-seok opting for solitude. As Beom-seok walks away, he encounters his former bullies, only to be confronted by bullies from his current school. In an unexpected turn, the latter group sides with Beom-seok, seizing the opportunity to assert dominance and pilfer money from the former bullies. They drag them into an underground garage, where Beom-seok assumes a position of authority, delivering swift retribution to his former tormentors. Following the altercation, Beom-seok and his newfound allies proceed to a club where they indulge in alcohol and socialize. Seizing the moment, Beom-seok severs ties with Su-ho on social media and engages in jovial interactions with others, seeking solace in the company of new acquaintances. The next day at school, Se-yoon notices Beom-seok's disarrayed state, prompting him to seek a private conversation. Beom-seok reaffirms his disdain for Su-ho, citing feelings of inferiority and arrogance as the root of their discord. Despite Su-ho's eavesdropping, Beom-seok remains resolute in his decision to distance himself, bidding farewell to his former companion. That evening, Beom joins the group of bullies once more. Yang Bin introduces him to Kan, a guy aspiring to join the UFC someday. Meanwhile, Se-yoon keeps Su-ho company during his night shift. They briefly discuss Beom's actions, with Su-ho suggesting they let him be if he chooses to hang out with the bullies. In the following days, Beom increasingly spends time with his new companions, even changing seats in class to sit closer to them. Concerned for his safety, Se-yoon confronts the bullies, warning them not to take advantage of Beom. However, the bullies assert that Beom willingly associates with them and covers their expenses. Su-ho believes they should let Beom follow his own path. Their discussion continues in the school cafeteria, where they witness the bullies cutting the line. Su-ho intervenes, but Beom tries to act tough. Su-ho pushes him back in line, prompting Beom to comply reluctantly. After school, Beom expresses his desire to hurt Su-ho to his new friends. They arrange a meeting with Kang, who Beom asks if he can defeat Su-ho. Kang, confident in his abilities, agrees, fueled by a past rivalry with Su-ho. Meanwhile, the bullies take more extreme measures. They tamper with Su-ho's motorcycle brakes, causing him to have an accident. In class the next day, tension brews between Beom and Su-ho, hinting at suspicion regarding Su-ho's accident. Days later, Yi and Se-yoon prepare for Su-ho's birthday, unaware of the danger looming. BM contacts Kang, setting up a trap using Yi as bait. Si-eun intercepts BM's message on Su-ho's phone, deleting it to protect Su-ho's birthday surprise. Arriving at the designated location, Si-eun recalls history lessons about strategic warfare and uses the environment to fend off the bullies. However, Kang arrives and overpowers him, with Yang Bin joining in the assault. BM, conflicted, attempts to stop Yang Bin, but to no avail. Outside, Kang demands payment from BM, despite not fighting Su-ho as planned. As the police sirens wail, the bullies scatter, leaving Si-eun injured and in need of medical attention. Despite being urged by officers to speak up, Si-eun insists his injuries were accidental, refusing to divulge the truth. Su-ho grows concerned when Si-eun goes off the radar, missing classes and avoiding calls. Seeking answers, Su-ho confronts Yi at her workplace, sensing something amiss with Si-eun's behavior. Meanwhile, back at school, he confronts the bullies, demanding payment for the damage to his scooter. When they feign ignorance, Su-ho resorts to force, prompting them to confess. Taking matters into his own hands, Su-ho confronts the bullies on the roof, extracting the truth through brute force. Armed with newfound knowledge, he seeks confirmation from Yi and pays a visit to Si-eun, uncovering the extent of Beom-seok's deceit. Meanwhile, tensions escalate at Beom-seok's home when his father, the congressman, lashes out in anger, prompting Beom-seok to flee. But even in his escape, he's not safe, as a vigilant bodyguard captures his departure. In a taxi, Beom-seok receives a damning photo from Su-ho, revealing the aftermath of his vengeance. Determined to confront those responsible, Su-ho tracks down Yang Bin, demanding answers. Bin denies involvement, shifting blame to Beom-seok. With retribution looming, Su-ho summons Beom-seok for a showdown, while Yi urgently contacts Si-eun, fearing Su-ho's wrath. Soon, they all converge at a gym, where Su-ho delivers a swift punch to Beom-seok, disgusted by his actions. As tensions reach a boiling point, Su-ho warms up by overpowering his adversaries, readying himself for the final confrontation. In the ring, Kang initiates a live stream, vowing revenge against the person who defeated him in high school. The battle begins with Su-ho showcasing his superiority. Despite Kang's targeted attacks on Su-ho's previously injured leg, Su-ho manages to turn the tables, flooring Kang. However, a sneaky move by one of the bullies trips Su-ho, giving Kang an opportunity to deliver a devastating blow to Su-ho's face, rendering him unconscious. As Beom-seok enters the ring, Su-ho cryptically remarks on his transformation into a monster. Enraged by what he perceives as Su-ho's inferiority, Beom-seok joins the bullies in a brutal assault, leaving Su-ho motionless. Realizing the severity of Su-ho's condition, panic sets in among the bullies as they realize he's not breathing. However, one of the congressman's bodyguards intervenes, detaining two of the bullies and assuring them that they won't face legal consequences, orchestrated by the congressman himself. Witnessing Su-ho's plight, Beom-seok's demeanor shifts, and he breaks down in tears, helpless to undo the damage. Spiraling further, the congressman decides to send Beom-seok away to the Philippines, issuing a chilling warning of potential harm if his identity is revealed. Beom-seok, now a shell of his former self, is left to grapple with the consequences. The following morning, Si-eun searches for Su-ho at school, only to find him absent from his usual spot. His inquiries lead him to the hospital, where he discovers Su-ho in a coma, his expenses mysteriously covered. Overwhelmed with emotion, Si-eun confides in Yi, expressing his determination to seek justice while urging her to stay safe. Determined to uncover the truth, Si-eun tracks down Bin at his new school, encountering suspicious glances from Bin's classmates, signaling a deeper mystery at play. Unexpectedly, Si-eun launches into action, attacking Yang Bin and stabbing him with a pen to extract information. Reviewing a video on Bin's phone, Si-eun locates Kang and engages in a physical confrontation, drawing on boxing lessons learned from Su-ho. Despite Kang's attempts to justify his actions as a paid brawl, Si-eun inflicts severe damage, leaving Kang defeated and writhing in pain. Meanwhile, the congressman makes a public appearance at BM's school, confronting him for his actions. BM, in turn, places blame on Yi for the rift between him and his friends. Arriving at his classroom for the last time, B-am braces for the consequences. In a bold move, Si-eun storms into the classroom, unleashing his fury on the bullies. Despite B-am's resignation to his fate, Si-eun refrains from delivering the final blow, recognizing B-am's pitiful state. Exiting the classroom, Si-eun encounters resistance from teachers, but asserts his desire for solitude. Visiting Su-ho in the hospital, Si-eun finds relief in his friend's recovery. However, the congressman ensures Si-eun's isolation, barring him from local schools except for a distant institution known for its troubled students. As Si-eun navigates his new environment, a confrontation looms with a bully, hinting at potential challenges ahead. Meanwhile, a mysterious figure receives word of Si-eun's exploits, sparking speculation about his fate. With this, the saga draws to a close, leaving lingering questions about what lies ahead for Si-eun and his adversaries.